What is up, my friends? One of the highlights of my year every year is getting to come to Osaka, Japan and meet up with Megabass and see all the exciting new things that they are bringing to the market. I am here today at a special kind of private viewing of the 2025 lineup of amazing rods like the Evolution that you guys see behind me, as well as all the baits that they are working on bringing to market. Now, at these types of events, you're gonna see a lot of product that is actually coming to market. You're gonna see some things that are maybe still in prototype and they're kind of still working on. So I'm gonna walk through all of that, expectations, color lines, timings, all the good stuff so you guys are up to speed on everything Megabass for 2025. Let's have some fun. All right, so the exciting, or I should say the most exciting piece of the Megabass event is standing behind me. This is the brand new launch of the Megabass Destroyer Evolution. This has been their flagship line for years. They have spent a ton of time redesigning this, putting tech in that both incorporates modern new technology as well as throwbacks to their heritage, things like slant bridge and colorways. So this is probably, of all the rod lineups, you guys know I'm a huge Destroyer P5 fan, but this is, a level above as far as sophistication, heritage, just kind of cool factor, right? So I'm gonna kind of walk through and show you guys up close what is happening with this Evolution lineup. This is expected to drop this summer. So I'm going to guess July-esque. Pricing is still being determined. Realistically, it's probably going to be in that $700 range where Evolution has always lived. But let me show you guys, spec it out so you can see what is coming from this. All right, Destroyer Evolution, the newest gen. As I mentioned, they are blending both modern tech and throwback heritage styling to create just one-of-a-kind masterpieces of rods. So here's one of the spinning lineups, and what's really exciting about this too is that a lot of the models are new. A lot of the models have been redesigned and re-engineered for this lineup. So here's one of the spinning rods. By the way, there are a couple of strolling specific spinning rods. This is one of them in my hands now. As you can see, that really cool slant bridge styling on there. It's incredibly unique to Megabass. It screams Megabass, but just beautiful styling all the way through, from the colors to the guides. So here is a closer look at some of the new titanium, and yep, you guys can see it. So, this is going to feature a new blank that is both super light and sensitive carbon, but if you guys can see these kind of, well, they're titanium strands is what they are. So if you look in it, looks almost kind of grainy that goes up the blank. They're titanium strands that run up through the first two guides of each rod, both in casting and spinning. That's going to give the rod incredible sensitivity, incredible feel, but it's also going to add a tremendous amount of power. So you've got a lot of lifting power in these rods. So, even though they're light and they're crisp and they're all the things that Megabass rods should be, that titanium really adds to the strength of the rod as well. Let's take a look at the casting styling. So this beautiful kind of, Megabass X reel seat lockdown. You got this super sick, slant bridge styling here. Now, they're not all slant bridge. So some of the models will offer this slant bridge. The slant bridge styling, of course, is super sick. It does add some extra weight to the rod. So it's kind of a give and take. You get the stylish, but you add just a touch extra weight. but the cool factor is 100%. So, look for more deets on this. We'll do a full breakdown as we get closer to the line, but just know there's some sick ones in here. This is a revised 110 stick with the slant bridge. There's some spinning rods in here, as I mentioned. There's some strolling rods. There's a incredible kind of wind buster-esque rod in here as well with the slant bridge. So stay tuned. Some really amazing things in the Evolution line is coming. All right, let's run through some of the baits that are coming to market and that Megabass is working on both. So we'll start right here, kind of at the beginning of the show. This is the 110 SR. Okay, now, if you guys purchased a lucky bag, you would have received one of these, kind of a pre-release of this bad boy. Basically, a 110 designed to stay a little bit shallower. Okay, so the SR shallow runner, it's not a huge difference. It's gonna stay 1 to 2 feet shallower than a traditional 110, but for a lot of you guys, that's enough of a difference, right? If you guys are smallmouth fishing on big flats, if you're, largemouth fishing over aquatic vegetation, saving an extra foot or two can really make a big difference. So this is going to be a really cool addition to the lineup. That's the 110 SR, and I'll run through the color lines with you here in a second as well. You guys would have seen this bait teased in the Megabass release. This is the IPX12, IPX16. I've been getting a lot of questions about it. This is a bait they're working on with Brandon Polnick, a new crankbait style, but still in prototype. So I doubt that this is going to come to market this year, so stay tuned on that. I'm sure that's going to update as time goes on. Here's one that I'm really excited about, both functionality-wise and it's pretty dope, right? That we get an eye-by-eye blowly. Yes, that's right. So this is a new crankbait style, basically taking from the eye-by-eye series, but it has basically a water intake on the top of the head here that comes out the bottom on the gill. So that's going to give it stability. It's going to prevent bait roll, but it's also going to give it a real high pitch action. So it's going to stay shallow. It's going to vibrate hard. It casts very easy. So this is going to be just a great all-around bait for a lot of you guys, whether you're shore fishing, you're fishing a pond, you're fishing a river system, or if you're tournament angler out on the water. It's going to be a great small profile bait. Some really amazing colors. You're going to see some colors that you guys are used to. You're also going to see some new colors. I'm going to run through those colors with you as well, and you guys are going to love some of those. There's been some talk of different Karashis coming. Potentially we could see this bad boy. This is the Karashi spinner. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this. It's kind of in the final stages. But this would be kind of an interesting one, a slow sink, kind of spy bait-esque type prop Karashi. But Karashi's been just a banger for Megabass. Metals, if you guys saw them, still kind of in the works. Here's some baits that are being produced, and they're actually almost done with production, that should be landing in the US, probably I would say late spring, early summer. So they have 2 new frogs that they're working on. This is the Gabarin and the Gabarin Junior. Basically smaller profile than the Big Gabbit. Big Gabbit's an amazing frog. You hear us talk about it a lot. However, it's big, right? So now there is just a traditional half-ounce size frog coming. It's kind of designed off a similar style as the Big Gabbit, but it's got kind of this cupped lip, so it could be a popper or a walking frog. It's got some, again, very interesting colors. They're also doing it in the junior size. It stays at half ounce, but it gets a small profile. So I know a lot of you guys live in this small profile frog, you know, Kara frog or something like that. This is an incredibly popular size frog here in Japan, as it is in the US. So really exciting to get 2 new additions. I'm gonna say a full size and a junior in that. There's also new Jamaica boas. So for your buzzbait fans, there is a new Jamaica boa junior. Super metal is something you're gonna hear Megabass talking about. It's essentially a zinc material, okay? So it's lead free, so if you guys, you know, if you fish anywhere that's not allowing lead, this is totally fine. But it's going to come in a traditional full size as well as this junior size, which is a great addition because, you know, we need the junior size. All right, Jeff, if you're watching, it's finally happening. The iSlide 265. Now, if you've followed our channel, we've been showing this bait. We showed it last year, and Megabass teased it last year. It's finally happening. Okay, so they got it exactly right. They didn't want to re-release this until it was money, and this bait is fantastic. Now, if you remember the old iSlide 262, incredibly effective bait, but it was difficult to glide. It was more of an aggressive jerking style motion. That has been fixed in the new version. So it glides with ease. You can chop it, you can glide it. It casts great. New colorways that are going to be, you know, bait fish specific for both Japan and US waters. Also, kind of exciting, if you guys remember the old 262, it had a kind of a Apple-esque box packaging to it, right? Kind of expensive to build those packages. Gone are the packages. In is a new clamshell packaging, which allows Megabass to actually reduce the cost of this bait. So you get a revised bait that's better and less money. So again, I'm thinking probably May, June. On this, you're gonna hear that be said a lot. Keep in mind that timings change based on, you know, shipping and final production and if there's any weirdness that happens, but very, very cool. I'll run through the color lines of this with you guys here in a second as well. All right, let's talk soft plastics for a minute. Spark shad has been a staple in the Megabass lineup for years and years and years. 3 sizes, a 3-inch, a 4-inch, and 5-inch, but now we're splitting that 3 and 4 with a new 3.6. So, you know, pretty much everybody on the planet, I think, is throwing the 3-inch spark shad with an Okashira head. And you guys know that the jump from a 3-inch to a 4-inch is pretty big, right? It's pretty big. So this 3.6 is now gonna allow us to just, we're just gonna split it in the middle. So it's still a small enough size to where you could fish it on Okashira head, but it's a big enough size to where it's got that elongated tail. It's gonna have a little different kick to it, but just gives you a slightly bigger profile. So again, we're looking probably summer on this. Dark Sleeper, 4.5. Okay, so there are going to be quite a few I'm gonna say upgrades to Dark Sleeper, both in sizing and colors happening this year. So we're looking at probably summer or fall as far as a legit ETA, but the 4.5-inch version is the elongated version, so it gives you a larger profile now. This is gonna be a great one for a lot of you guys that just need a bigger bait. A lot of you, SoCal saltwater guys are gonna like this too, because I know you guys use the sleeper a lot. So it just gives us a larger profile bait now to fish on the bottom. New colors in the works as well for the existing sizes as well. So it's gonna be a big year for Dark Sleeper. So if you guys are a fan, stay tuned. Lots of cool things to come Dark Sleeper wise. All right, another bait that has been kind of teased for quite some time. This is a Kenta Kimura kind of special project that he's done with Megabass. This is the Yagget. So kind of a heavy, dense plastic creature bait. If you guys have followed Kenta for a while, he's used this kind of bug style bait for a lot of his career. He's developed quite a few great ones, and he's been working really hard with Megabass to make this perfect to his needs. There's going to be quite a few things you guys can do with this, but think of it as kind of a, you know, heavy Senko kind of creature, you know, scat-esque, where it's going to get to the bottom and have lots of movement on it. So that's going to be coming at some point this year. I'm not even going to say spring or summer because it's undetermined, but at some point we're probably going to see that guy. All right, Haze ST. So we just looked at the spark shad. How about a Hazadong with a straight tail? So this is going to give us just some different options. Of course, you can still drop swim it, you can drop shot it, you can stroll it, you can do whatever you want with it, but now you have a straight tail option for a more subtle motion than a paddle tail. So it's going to be that same beautiful, you know, Hazadong profile, but in a straight tail. This is an exciting one. I think this, of all the baits, you know, it's maybe not the most exciting looking, but it's going to have just a tremendous fishability to it. That one's going to be super dope. All right, Magdraft. Okay, lots of things happening in Magdraft. Now, the Magdraft head, again, was teased last year. It's still in development, so they're still tweaking it. This is another Kenta project, but designed to fit the Magdraft Freestyle. I'm hoping that we get to see this year. It's designed to fish on a traditional freestyle, so it should be a really cool way to fish ledges and get your Magdraft down deeper. But how about the re-release of the Magdraft 5-inch? Now, I know you guys have been seeing this teased quite a bit. This is actually going to be happening this month. Okay, so this is something that's happening right away. It's a redesigned harness, a redesigned bait to allow you guys to fish it at a little bit higher rate of speed. It's got a little bit different hook, a little bit different. Everything is just slightly retuned to kind of just make it the perfect ultimate 5-inch Magdraft. Now, on top of that, 19 colors. Okay, so a lot of your favorites in the Magdraft series, albino pearl shad, whiteback shad, those kind of things, of course, are going to be there. But there's quite a few new colors, never been done in Magdraft before. So you guys will have quite the buffet to choose from in the Magdraft lineup. All right, let's run through some of these colors and just make sure we didn't miss anything. All right, guys, so here is the color lineup. Of course, I'm gonna slide them all and ruin their displays. Well, they'll never invite me back. We might as well just finish the deal. Okay, I'll rearrange them later. So there's all your 110 SR colors. So you can see a lot of the traditional colors, you know, matte shads and leggy bones and pro blues, of course, in there, as well as some other unique colors. So that'll be pretty exciting. Okay, we'll slide that in and then maybe I'll run before I have to fix that. Okay, here are your Gabarine colors. Okay, so this was the frog, both in the Gabarine and Gabarine Junior. There are some straightforward colors that you're used to seeing from Megabass, as well as some crazy ones. You want, let me pop this open so I can really show you guys some of these colors. Let's get hands-on with some of these guys so you can see them up close. So here's a sneak peek kind of first look. So you're gonna recognize a lot of these colors from the Pony Gabbit days, right? So, you know, your peaches, some of your chartreuses, you know, your short head, but a lot of these colors are a little wild, a little crazy. I love it. All right, it's gonna give us just a little bit different look, something unusual, I would say, for Megabass, but really, really cool color patterns all the way around. So all these colors that you're seeing are gonna be in both sizes, okay? So the Gabarine and the Gabarine Junior both are going to offer this color lineup. Again, the ETA for now is kind of late spring, early summer, but stay tuned on that. Things are always happening and shifting very quickly. So let's jump over to the Bololi. Okay, when's the last time you went home, your wife said, "How did it go today, honey?" And you said, "Well, I caught him really good on the Bololi and secret nut butter." That's right. New color from Megabass in the Bloly Secret Nut Butter. This is gonna be a fun year. I can't wait for you guys to get these in your hands. Now, of course, there's some normal colors too, right? And they did a great job on this lineup. You know, there's Gilcos and, you know, chartreuse and blues and that kind of stuff. But how about a Bloly and BBC? Don't be dirty. There's a new Kingyo color, so a baby Kingyo Shart back. So this one I'm really, really excited about. This is gonna be a fantastic little crankbait, really gonna become a staple for a lot of us. So, you know, aside from the crazy colors, which, I don't know, it's, you know, fishing's supposed to be fun, right? So this is gonna be exciting, but it's a great crankbait. So there is that. All right, guys, that is a wrap from this year's 2025 Megabass New Product Showcase. If you guys have any questions on anything that we covered, of course, drop it down below. You guys can reach me basically 24/7 on Instagram anytime, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. Of course, when we get updates on delivery times and ETAs of these products landing on the market, I will keep you guys posted as always. So I appreciate the time. For now, it's goodbye from Osaka and goodbye from Megabass. We'll see you again soon. Peace.